Welcome to the Blue Studio, which is my studio as well as a gallery. Most of the pictures I show here were painted here. In fact, all of them were painted here or drawn here. Mainly paintings on canvas or board, plus watercolours, woodcuts, digital prints, and this is my easel, which I built many years ago and which has seen many paintings emerge from it. As you can tell by the build-up of paint on it, it's been around for quite a while. And I'll try and talk about a few things which influence my work. Music has always played a big part in my pictures, in the imagery. This painting, for example, is called The Hen's March to the Midden, or Over the Midden. It's an 18th century Scottish fiddle tune, what's called a descriptive tune. The notes are attempting to describe the movement of the hens as they march towards or over the midden. I've got three musicians in Highland Landscape: accordionist, banjo player, fiddle player, and they have with them a barrel of a nice liquid to help them play, possibly whiskey or beer in blue enamel jugs. And it's a tune which it played a lot on the fiddle and aptly described the movement of chickens. It's a wonderful tune. So that's a Hen's March over the Midden. This painting is called Pier Dance and is actually based on a film I haven't seen called Mamma Mia. Carl went to see it, as did other people from the village, and everyone talked about a wonderful scene where the people danced on a pier. It was a Greek pier, of course. I thought that would make a wonderful image, so I did some drawings and sketches and imagined them dancing on a Scottish pier, one quite near here, a Skye pier, possibly the one down at Lonsay. So people are having a dance. There are three musicians, a fishing boat, and some seagulls who are taking part in the action as well. So it's just to give the idea of dancing on a pier. Someone said it might be a rather hazardous thing to do, and well, it could be, but hopefully none of them have fallen off, and so that's Pier Dance. This drawing is for a painting, and again on a musical theme based on the fiddle this time. The fiddle obviously there, and the bows are arranged in a way to show the history of the development of the fiddle bow from the early to the present one. On the left is the famous James Scott Skinner, one of the best known fiddlers and composers. Behind him is a monument to Major General Hector MacDonald, which is found in Dingwall. MacDonald was the subject of one of Skinner's finest tunes called Hector the Hero. It's a beautiful tune. The unfolding ferns, the unfurling ferns are said to have influenced the shape of the scroll at the top of the fiddle. Famous dark figure being Paganini, one of the best known fiddlers of all. He came from Genoa. Above him is a woman who was very well known in her time, but is now almost completely forgotten. She's called Mary Hall. And the figure at the top is meant to represent probably Scotland's finest fiddler composer, Neil Gow. there's a poem by Burns which is, I think it's called Neil Gow's Welcome to Dumfries, and in it Burns describes Gow playing with the fairies dancing around him, listening to his music. So he was able to enchant fairies, so he must have been very enchanting. These two upright pictures are wings of a proposed triptych, both again on a musical theme. The one on the left is obviously influenced by the drawing I've just talked about, which is still in progress. The one on the right is based on the idea of the concertina, which was played a lot by sailors, which is why I've got a lot of nautical imagery in it, like ships in bottles, battleships, maps, a scene from Treasure Island, outside the Admiral Benbow in piers, puffers, messages in bottles, etc. I enjoyed using one image like the instrument, and then making up stories around that, making up images around that. These paintings are all quite recent, painted during the winter and spring of this year. Local views. That's Tarskeveg with the cattle in summer. That's Cana. A shinty match I like. Passing shinty matches. It's still a very popular game in the Highlands, and a North Uist beach, a Tarskeveg view, people feeding sheep in winter time when trying to catch the idea of a cold wind and rough sea. A neighbour, Flora MacLean, feeding her sheep on a winter's day, and the light hitting the Tarskeveg landscape just in the spring when it comes over the hill. The two paintings underneath are of our two dogs who sit on chairs, which they're not meant to, and look out the windows, but they look so happy that we don't have the heart to move them. You can believe it. This painting is essentially a view from the window, a view of Tarskeveg, showing different things happening in winter. Carol has come from the polytunnel with the dogs. The figure on the left is Bonnie MacLean. The neighbour going down some logs. The figure above is the polytunnel feeding the sheep. Flora MacLean, she watches feeding her sheep every winter morning. The black cow, I love the winter colours and the way the light, especially up over the sea, how it one feels it's always moving, which is a difficult thing to paint. And then the winter trees, which I love painting these because they're more interesting to paint, I think, than summer trees, which are all green. But not that I dislike summer trees, but in terms of painting, I do like winter trees, and all in all, I do love the winter colours here. They're absolutely beautiful.